morning. Another beautiful day in the life of Heavy Haul TV and this trucker. I'm on I-80 near Milton, Pennsylvania, heading to the border, but I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna make it, because I'm still in Pennsylvania and I have to be out of New York by noon today. So if I cannot make it to the border by noon, I gotta stop. And I spent the night in Duncannon at the Pilot. I hate that Pilot, you know. It's always so busy and there's no restaurant, just a Dansville. I mean, just a subway. And the traffic is crazy, like getting out of that truck stop, like even at 6:30 in the morning, it's pretty much impossible, you know. They should put a set of lights in there, because the speed limit is 45 and there's signs on the road say slow down, but everybody's flying from the side of Harrisburg, I don't know, doing 55, 60, and you try to get out, you know, and you're big and slow. Very dangerous. So I'm going back to Sudbury. Surprisingly, that's where my first machine delivered. The same cat, R1700G. And I'm grossing about 60 tons right now. The load is 40 metric tons, and I'm 20, just over 20. So I'm 47,400 pounds. And this machine is about 88. And it's pushing me pretty good going down. But it's interesting, you know, one of the reasons I'm doing this video is because now I can compare how the truck drives, you know, with the 410, because I had this load, I think it was still like, yeah, back in the summer, my first one, the same cat, the same weight, everything was the same road, but I had 3.90 ratio. And I remember the truck was, you know, really struggling on these hills in Pennsylvania and New York. It's pretty hilly. So now I have 410, the same weight, everything the same load, right? The same road. And I really can feel the difference. You know, I'm not sure if it's worth $4 grand that I spent on the ratio change, but it just, you know, when the truck does not pull, you ask any driver, it just drives you crazy, you know. It's like very stressful. You have to shift all the time. Like this thing now pulls like, I don't know, like I have at least 550 horsepower, you know, as opposed to 505. That's how it feels. Just a little bit, but it does help, and I have more torque. And I don't care about fuel mileage because I keep the same RPM, you know. I actually decreased my speed because I like driving slow, especially when empty. And my trailer maker, Kaufman, says, you know, do not drive faster than 60 miles per hour when loaded, because otherwise you can damage the trailer. So yeah, that hefty machine is still in the back. You can see it in the mirror. And of course I got a shift, but nearly nowhere near as much as I did before when I had 390 gears. So this is beautiful. This is the way it should be, you know. So guys and girls, if you want to do heavy haul and you decide to buy a truck with a small engine like 13 liter, never get it with 390 exo ratio. Okay, must be at least 410. There was some garbage on the road. I think somebody blew a tire and this guy just basically walked right into it. You know, these pieces of debris can be real dangerous because they can hit something under your vehicle. You know, like, I don't know, the worst case scenario I'm thinking, in a, like if it's a pickup truck or a car, it can hit a fuel line or something, you know, like the line that goes from your tank to the engine, or it can hit some brake lines or something. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm experiencing a huge difference in temperature, right? Just a few days ago I was in Florida and the top right corner of my dash showed 31, plus 31 Celsius, which is about 95F or 90F. Now it's 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit, and just a couple of times when I was between some hills I saw -1 or 30F. So it's real chilly, you know. The nature basically gives me signs that I'm headed towards colder areas. So of course it's going to be colder in Canada because I'm still I'm 236 kilometers, or basically what, 140 miles from Dansville. That's my next stop. I always stop there. There's a TA, Dansville, New York, because right after the Dansville I gotta do some crazy maneuvers because I didn't get a permit for the I-90 throughway, so I have to cut across on some New York 2-lane highways there, 63, what is this, 30, 33, between Batavia, New York and Dansville. And that's a pretty bad road over there, so maybe I'll show you guys how the truck pulls on those hills, because there's no room to accelerate. It's very difficult. I stopped to check my load, everything is good. Tightened a couple of chains. And it's already 10 o'clock. So I'm 73 kilometers, 45 miles away from Dansville.
Hey, there's a 40-yard down there in Silver, right?
Alright, so my GPS says I'll be there at 10:45. And I didn't have any breakfast, nothing, right? So see, these restrictions, they're no good, because I'm supposed to drive non-stop to the border, right? Because otherwise I'm stuck till Monday. But from Dansville it's 80 miles. It's only 80 miles to the Peace Bridge in Buffalo, but you have to go through towns because I have to take that route that's on my permit, right? So I know it takes 2 hours. It takes 2 hours to reach the border from Dansville, because I was in this situation before, right? When I'm stuck over the weekend there. And so of course, if I'm in Dansville at 10:45, you know, I only have, even if I don't stop, I only have 1 hour and 15 minutes till noon. So it's not gonna work. So looks like I'll be spending another weekend over there. Well, I get my camera. Now I know that little town, I know there's an airport, but I only have a 35mm lens, so which is no good for shooting, you know, objects in the distance. But there's a river right behind the TA, like a little stream. So I want to see if there's any shops in town that rent, what do you call them? Scuba. You know, those tanks, oxygen tanks for scuba diving. Because it's already +2 Celsius. It's like 35 F, you know. The water should still be okay. Yeah, I think it's this river. It goes a very long way. And with this load I have to brake all the time, you know, because there's a lot of weight on my axles, and each bridge, like usually at the bottom of the hill, it has very rough joints. So if I don't brake and I go downhill, you know, even at the legal 65 miles per hour here, the impact is pretty bad. So I always slow down, bring the speed when I'm going down at least under 60. There's lots of bridges over there. Oh, I passed, you know, when you enter Pennsylvania from New York going south on this highway, there's, you know, very scenic view from that rest area. And it also doubles as a weight station, usually on weekends. And sure enough, I'm driving now and I see a van and it says DOT. So it's Pennsylvania DOT, PennDOT. The guy sits there, and when trucks come in, oh, and the lights were flashing when I passed. And he does his, you know, his thing. Writes tickets, does inspections, you know. And he probably carries portable scales. But what's funny is that when I pass that rest area and I go down, and I see there's a truck sitting on the other side. So this DOT guy cannot see him because it's at the bottom of the hill and after the curve. And this guy is sitting there and he has his lights on, like the four-way flashers. And I look at the truck, I don't see anything wrong, like no flat tires, nothing. So and he sits like 200 or 300 meters away from the sign with the lights, where it says, you know, flashing lights, where it says all trucks enter way station. So he's sitting there and he's waiting to see if the lights will go off. So probably something is wrong. Either he's, and it's a dry van. I think it was a day cab. Yeah, it was like a day cab Kenworth truck with a dry van trailer. I don't know. He's probably either overloaded or his logbook is so screwed up. Oh, you see, like here's a typical. See, I cannot go fast here. I don't want to damage my trailer. So either his logbook was screwed up, or more likely, I think it's his weights. He's probably overloaded. The shipper overloaded him. Hey, nothing happens, you know, it's a weekend. There's no cops on the weekend. Oh, really? They always sitting there. There's this way going north. There's a couple of rest areas, they like them too. You know, all of a sudden you're driving and you know there's no scale stations in this area, but you see some handwritten sign says checkpoint, all trucks enter. And there's a bunch of guys in pickup trucks and cargo vans, and it says DOT, and they do on-spot inspections. And I always notice that they like doing it on weekends. I don't know why. Probably because of the extra pay. They don't make enough money during the week, so then they realize, the wife says, "Hey, what are you doing sitting home? We have bills to pay, we have the mortgage, the daughter needs new teeth," and kicks him out of the house. You know, go write some tickets or something, you know, like be useful. And the poor guy goes, you know, to the truck stop and starts harassing the truckers. So what do you do? As they say, the shit rolls downhill. So the culprit is the wife in this case.